Today, I want to walk you through my way of thinking about the brutal assassination of our friend, Charlie Kirk. I constantly ask myself why this happened or who is the mastermind behind it. Trust me, this video will not be long, and I will reveal a specific someone who, in my mind, is the Master Puppeteer behind this dirty assassination. Believe me when I tell you that you will be shocked by my logic and revelations. Please follow my train of thoughts, which will take you back to events and characters we all have seen and experienced in the past decade or so. I will build the case for my logic, and I will explain how I arrived at my choice for the mastermind. This video will be heavy, so I like to add that I do not have any wishes to end my life, as I am pretty healthy, active, and suffer from no mental health issues. I am happy and I do want to live. With that disclaimer out of the way, I want to say that I am not the brightest bulb in the world. But I can tell you that I am one hell of a chess player. This public display of bloodshed was a play beyond 3D chess by a very powerful individual whom you all know. Or is it creative fiction? You decide? I am not making this as a statement, rather a test of the viability of my logic. You tell me, I did not use ChatGPT to write this. This is all me, pure train of thoughts. I am worried about facing consequences for uploading this. This is a small channel, and I am no professional, so please spread it before they silence me. Just a free American expressing himself out loud. The correct questions to ask, here we go. As I mentioned before, my questions were less pedestrian than the most common videos you see on YouTube. I know that the heart of our nation was attacked and people are sad, upset, and some are even vengeful. They're just asking the wrong questions. Everyone is emotional, and we all know when we let emotions drive us, we can come to wrong decisions or conclusions.
And you don't make decisions based on emotion.
Decisions based on emotion aren't decisions at all. They're instincts, which can be of value.
This is where my two important questions come into play, and these are the questions that are twisting themselves into a knot in my head. 1. Who is the mastermind behind this tragedy? I believe the path to answer this question is just as old as human history itself. If we want to find the culprit, then we simply ask ourselves too, who benefits the most from this event? Now I have to tell you that my purpose of this video is not to discuss either the shooting or the person behind the shooting, and I certainly do not aim to dwell on what the authorities have put on display for us. I will bring a couple of facts up just to show you the logic and reasoning behind my thoughts. So again, this is all about why Charlie was eliminated and who is fooling all of us. Honestly, at no point is the aim of this video to dwell on the facts that are publicly displayed or have been put on display for us. Those are all distractions. Let's dive in. There's a saying from the British writer Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, which found its way into the mouth of Sherlock Holmes. The saying goes like this: how often have I said that when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth?
You will not follow my precept. How often have I said to you, once you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Ah, Sherlock. Okay, so let us see who is getting the most blame in the eyes of the public for this crime. Pool of logical culprits. Option A, Israel. Well, you cannot blame people for calling the pot black. Israel and its multi-front war with the whole world definitely has not done any favors for its public image by spreading news of its successful assassinations. For 2 years, Americans kept hearing about how secretive the Mossad is, how all three main Israeli intelligence agencies can plant an intelligence mole anywhere in the world, and then Israel went into the business of production, sale, and distribution of explosive pagers. We all saw these events unfold, so one cannot help but to follow their emotions. Now that many online have brought up a possible rift between Charlie and the Israeli lobby, the whispers about Israeli involvement are even stronger. Please do not be fooled. The Puppet Master is enjoying this show. He loves to watch as our people divide themselves surrounding this issue. You will notice that this old tactic of divide and conquer shows up multiple times. In this particular matter, they are splitting the right into shreds. In my mind, Israel had nothing to do with this. My logic is that they have too much to lose to play such a game. The assassination of such an important public figure on US soil by Israel would have blowback that could jeopardize Israel's very existence. Calmly and rationally, please consider this fact. For the past 2 years, they've been enjoying a blank check from the US. They get from us everything they need, like money bombs, intelligence, military support, air raid support, air defense support, and also the most expensive and technologically advanced missile defense shield called the Iron Dome, which is the most expensive item on this planet. since the US is also constantly refilling and providing the missiles for the Iron Dome. So why would Israel kill Charlie? There is so much at stake. Moreover, why kill Charlie Kirk? I mean, Israel has much bigger fish to fry than a 30-year-old podcaster. Charlie was very dear and close to President Trump, so ask yourself, would Israel risk the wrath of our unpredictable president? So I say, following logic and reason, Israel simply would not have carried out an assassination, which could produce a massive rift between the two countries' relations and also very possibly torpedo Israel's chance of winning the war. So let us scratch this silly thought. Do not let the puppet master succeed. Option B, the radical left or Antifa. After Israel, the left in American public has borne the brunt of the blame for this ungodly assassination. I do agree that this kind of act can seem to be possible from our radical left and Antifa, and I say this with reason. Nothing in this video is emotional or lopsided. I only aim to shine light on the puppet master's chess moves. From my perspective, correct me if I am wrong, the radical left and/or Antifa always comes down hard on their opponents in a way of eliminating the debate rather than having an exchange of ideas. Admit it, it is true. I am not expressing that the left side of the aisle is raging with violence. I am simply noting to all my audience that the radical left will remove the possibility of debate by all means possible. They may get you fired, canceled, debanked, and doxxed, so the left's opposition does not even get a chance of expressing a better or different thought. Now with that in mind, I dare say that this particular successful assassination falls way off the radar for the capabilities of the radical far-left groups. Now pay attention that I use the word successful assassination when I would have much preferred to use words like dirty, brutal, and callous to describe this public killing. I use the word successful because I will, later down the line, connect this act of violence to the unsuccessful assassination of our President Trump that we all saw happen. This killing was way out of the blue, aimed towards someone who was not a logical focal point of violence from the far left. This successful assassination did not happen in the 1960s. It unfolded in front of all of our eyes with hundreds of cameras pointing toward the target, but we are just unable to produce a cohesive story of the events. I mean, really, with an alphabet soup of local and federal authorities in this day and age with all the technology, all the experts, all the damn tax money spent on security, and lastly, having all the previous experiences of such targeted assassinations, the government still has not explained to its people what happened. Now you can expect that something or someone very powerful is behind the veil, pulling levers. Whether or not the man they have in custody really did commit this crime is truly irrelevant. The chess master sits far from the action. You can only see and feel the levers they pull. Now rest assured I will reveal who I have in mind as the Master Puppeteer. I need to drive you there, because once you connect the dots, you do recall that I mentioned the old way of divide and conquer. Now, after Israel dipped its toes in the pool of suspicion, hence segmenting the right, unknowingly the unsuspecting crowd turns their anger and attention to the far left, hence dividing the country even more. Now, before we move on to the last and most important culprit, I would like to give you a small hint of who I believe is the real chess master behind the 7D chess. The real person behind this psychotic act is playing a long game, and in order for you to understand it, you need to take a look at it from the perspective of time, and not events. I will take you there, I promise, so bear with me. The puppet master wants our nation to be politically desperate, so that he could make his move and change from being a billionaire to a man who has direct access to the White House and the president himself. This assassination is part of a plot that, if I am correct, will make this billionaire that we all know the owner of America because he would simply own the president. Option C, the deep state. Because I am going to explain this topic, I would like to say that I have no intention of ending my life since I am pretty healthy, and I look forward to life every day. So there should be no reason for me to just drop dead. Now, because the introduction of the deep state is rather unexpected, I understand you might be somewhat hesitant to chew on this option. I want you to know that I do not dwell in the world of conspiracy theories. I never pay much attention to them. The decision to pick the deep state as the main culprit for this unfortunate assassination is born out of logic, and I will give it to you straight. There was so much attention and detail involved in this heinous act that it certainly demanded cooperation from deep state players. Now let us look at the term deep state in a practical manner. When I say deep state, I am grouping two very powerful factions together. So let us separate them. The first faction is the millionaires and billionaires, the true players of this country. The famous phrase, "we the people," in the Constitution is referring to millionaires and billionaires. That phrase was meant for the super rich, not for you and me. Think about it. Stay with me now, and do not get emotional. Remember the lesson that Frank Underwood learned from Raymond Tusk? Decisions based on emotion are not decisions at all. They are instincts. Now, where does the power of the rich come from? Well, these billionaires spend 99% of their lives in private. Due to their immense wealth and the attention that kind of wealth brings, they choose to play their cards from behind many veils. They are the ones who pull levers to bend the law in their favor or even change a nation. You, my dear audience, are not new to this. You were not born yesterday, and definitely you are not living under a rock. Whatever I just explained in the last minute was already subconsciously ringing through your head, so just stay with me. Nevertheless, in the deep state exists another group that puts the billionaires' ideas into public policy, and hence this second faction gives power to the billionaires. I am speaking of elected and unelected bureaucrats, people working decades in intelligence agencies, in the State Department, in local law enforcement, in governor mansions, and etc. These elected and unelected officials are always hungry for more money, which flows generously from the ever-loving bosom of billionaires.